What's up, everybody? How we doing? Happy Thursday, y'all. If you guys are watching on the replay here pretty quickly, we'll be live for the free Black Friday prep class at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be hopping on a free Zoom call with a bunch of you guys. Showing you how to source products during Black Friday. And of course, all the basics. If you're still getting going on Amazon, we'll be covering how to get ungated, all the basic stuff. And we're going to go everything from the basics to kind of using some AI to source, some sourcing methods that aren't on YouTube anywhere. And we're excited to hang out with a bunch of you guys live on the Zoom call tonight. So you can check that out down below or up above if you're on TikTok or Instagram. But yeah, let me know what questions you guys have. I'll be live for Boxem office hours as usual for about 30 minutes here, answering any questions you guys have when it comes to selling on Amazon, making money online, all that good stuff. I've been doing it for well over 6 years now. It's kind of the full-time income. Just buying and selling, name brand stuff like this, name brand toys, name brand makeup, chocolates, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to selling on Amazon, especially this time of year, there's a lot of like very giftable products, and that's kind of the main thing I'm focusing on. So I know a lot of people are, wanting to stock up on Christmas lights and Christmas decor and that kind of thing. Another good place to focus on is just stuff that is, people are going to be given as gifts, and it's not going to not have any demand after Christmas. Basically, that's the type of stuff I like to look for. So, yeah, good to see a bunch of you guys today. Let me know what questions you guys have when it comes to selling on Amazon, and yeah, let's chop it up. Let's see. What's up, Leon? Good to see you, man. Let's see. Never heard of it, PQP, but all you need for Amazon software wise is SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxem. That'll be pretty much the whole suite. And then there are things out there that claim to be like automated and all that kind of stuff. The problem with like automated tools is they're always going to miss the best products. They're not going to find like good multi-packs. The ones where the listings are a little bit weird and that kind of thing. Yeah, so just SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxem. For sure. Yeah, so I shoot profit margin wise. Yeah, so profit margin, I shoot for about 10% net after I pay my team to do all the sourcing products, all the buying products, all the shipping products, everything. You want to be closer to like 20% gross margin. And I use a lot of that gross margin to not do very much work at all for my own Amazon store. Some people want to do a bunch of work and pocket all the money, and I think that's great too. Focus on build the business you want to run, basically. See, should you wait now to do FBA and then focus on FBM until after Q4? Yeah, Faith, for sure. That's definitely the way you'll go about it if you are trying to like truly just like maximize the opportunity. Because if you're sending things to Amazon FBA right now, the chances that it checks in during the holiday rush are getting slimmer and slimmer, just because it usually takes at least 3 or 4 weeks for stuff to check in. So obviously, if you're doing the math, it's like right before Christmas. You're going to miss a lot of the holiday rush. So yeah, you want to be stocking up as much as possible via FBM. A couple like good hacks on that are to make sure you're charging at least $20 to $30 for expedited shipping. Especially during the holidays, people will pay a huge premium for that expedited shipping. I've seen some products, and I've even sold some where it's it's like a $30 product, and they pay $40 for expedited shipping on it just because they want it in time for Christmas. So make sure your expedited shipping settings are like dialed in. There's a lot of like extra money you can make off that. Another good thing when it comes to FBM is if you can find products that people are likely to buy multiple of, let's say Christmas chocolates or makeups and stuff like that. There's more money per unit because you only buy the shipping once. With FBA, you're always going to pay the same fees, obviously. But with FBM, it's $6 to ship 2 units of something, but it's $5 to ship 1 unit, right? So you get to pocket the difference there. So there's a lot of fun stuff when it comes to Amazon FBM for sure. So is 5K enough to run Amazon wholesale? I'd say it's like barely enough if you want to get into wholesale. I also wouldn't start with Amazon wholesale. It's just a very expensive way to start. You're going to make some expensive mistakes, that kind of thing. So the better way to start, and kind of what I focus on, and this is what I still do, about 95% of my business is buying just like name brand stuff like this, like toys, makeup, clothes from big websites, and just flipping that stuff at scale. So maybe, for example, yesterday we were spending a couple grand at Walgreens, a couple grand at iHerb. Trying to remember, I forget what the team was buying yesterday, but like clothes, shoes, all that kind of stuff. We're buying a few grand of a lot of different stuff every day from big websites, basically. Yeah, and I see a bunch of you guys hopping in. So let me know what questions you guys have. And then if you want to hop on a Zoom call with me for free, later tonight, we're doing a free live class for Amazon sellers. You can check that out up here on TikTok or down below if you're on on YouTube. And yeah, we'll be jumping on Zoom, showing you how to source products, get ungated, take advantage of Black Friday, especially with Black Friday coming up. It's going to make a ton of basically the easiest sourcing of the year. Usually I like to spend like 50 to 100 grand on Black Friday weekend. And there'll be a lot of good stuff in terms of sourcing, and I'll show you guys how to find all that profit tonight on the free class as well. Sweet. What's up, Sam? Is it for arbitrage online? Yeah. So the free class tonight will be focused on online arbitrage for sure. Sweet. See you there, Leon. Where do you buy GS1 barcodes? So the way I saw on Amazon, selling stuff like this, you don't need to buy barcodes. You don't need to buy ads. You don't need to do marketing, anything like that. All you need to do is just make sure that you're buying things that already sell cheaper than they are on Amazon, right? So like this, I got at a local retail store. Or last night we were buying some vitamins from Walgreens that were, a little over double on Amazon. We just bought it using some discounts, some coupons, that kind of thing, right? So it's just taking advantage of price differences across different markets and selling to the customer on Amazon that wants to pay that price premium for stuff that it can be a little bit cheaper, especially during Black Friday sales when everyone's running like limited time sales. We have a bunch of stuff that we can stock up on right now and sell at a premium during the holiday rush. For sure. Do you do private label? Nope. Just arbitrage, a little bit of wholesale. Yeah, there's no reason for me to get into that. I like building a system of getting really good at reselling a bunch of stuff from websites. For sure. Getting declined for ungating. Yeah, just keep submitting it. Yeah, that's totally normal this time of year if you're trying to like get approved to sell new brands. They're just making sure that nobody's getting like fake stuff under the Christmas tree. It makes total sense if you're Amazon. So yeah, just keep submitting and eventually you'll get somebody that is actually properly going to check out your application. Let's see. It's been 1 week. You're trying to find a product. Yeah. So like super simple starting point. If you want to source products, like today is when Black Friday sales are starting. So the next week to 10 days are going to be literally the easiest product sourcing of the entire year for Amazon selling. Just because that's where like the real opportunity is for Black Friday for resellers. Obviously you have a good revenue day, but the sourcing opportunities are the best. And if you want to take advantage of those, just figure out like, let's say, I was just talking about Walgreens has a coupon right now. So you can say, hey, let me go to Walgreens branded items that are on Amazon and let me look at everything that the people are on that listing are already selling. So you'll see, Johnny's Amazon store is selling Walgreens vitamins on Amazon. So I'll look at Johnny's Amazon store because I know he's buying from Walgreens. So he's buying from a ton of other websites too. It's called reverse sourcing. It sounds like you're kind of new to selling on Amazon. That's kind of what you'll want to dig into on that. In terms of like what you need to do that, you'll just use SellerAmp to reverse source. I know those might sound like a foreign language right now, but that's kind of like the basics if you're curious on like a starting point. Let's see. For some items they are denying you to sell, for you to create a listing. Yeah, don't create a listing for a brand you don't own because you can get that listing removed. You'll just get ungated for the brand. And if you're getting any denials or anything like that, just keep submitting. It's totally normal. Yeah, I mean, Sam, I was just talking about like Walgreens branded, man, just like a retail store. So if you look at like Walmart branded products or Target branded products or anything like that, that also has an Amazon listing, that means that the people who are already selling that listing bought from Walmart, and their stores are going to be full of stuff that you can usually figure out where they're getting it from as well. Let's see. Realistically, how long would it take you to start selling? You can start making money like as soon as your Amazon's account open. I mean, especially if you're taking advantage of FBM, which is basically like how eBay works. If you do Amazon FBM, you just list it on the platform, and sales will start rotating to you as long as your price is good and your shipping speeds are good. So when you get that Amazon account open, you can make a sale the same day. But if you don't already have an Amazon seller account, I would get that in the works now because it can take, like at least a few days. Usually they'll like verify your address and that kind of thing. Let's see. Have to tell people about the bad. Let me know what questions you have, man. Jeremy, I'm not like hiding anything, brother. I'm answering questions. I know what to tell you. Of course, if I need to add the disclaimer, hopefully this was obvious, but making money online is hard. If you want to make passive income or like get rich quick, all that kind of stuff, then just, it doesn't exist. I'll be the one to tell you, right? If you want to do hard work and you like digging through some stuff to sell on Amazon, then it's a good opportunity. Everything that works to make money is going to be hard. So just remember that you'll be good after that. So you do pay taxes. Yeah, quarterly. I see you. You can talk to your CPA about that. I know the whole world of taxes and stuff is still still tricky sometimes. So that's where you need like a CPA and that kind of thing. Let's see. When it comes to ungating, should you wait for reapplying? No, I always reapply right away unless I'm getting like super like insta denied. Then I'll just wait like 24 hours. You can also like rename the file, like rotate the file, that kind of thing. It's funny. There was like a quarter of the people on here left when I said that making money is actual hard work. It's funny how that works. So yeah, good to see the bunch of you guys are still like actually dialed in. What's up, Thomas? I've got the Instagram going through StreamYard now. They updated it. It's on like my nice Sony. Hope you're doing good, man. See, one more thing, you bought a branded item, but they're not giving you any invoice to ungate. They do send you an invoice. They're going to email it to you. So they might call it a receipt or an order confirmation or something like that. But as long as when you buy something online, if they send you information, they say, hey, here's what you bought. Here's your address that we're shipping it to. That's an invoice for sure. Can't start selling on Monday and on Friday buy a Lambo. Yeah. So yeah. Although I have seen it before where, you got the young entrepreneur goes out there and makes like a $5,000 a month and they rent a Lamborghini. I have seen it. Sweet. Let me know what other questions you guys got here. Let's see. You're asking, do you think it's worth it to pay for masterclass or mentorship? So things like that are going to depend on your situation. We are doing a free live class tonight, which will be good to hop on if you want to just like get as much info as possible for free. I'll be showing you kind of my Black Friday sourcing strategy. Usually I'll spend 50 to 100 grand on Black Friday sales over the course of Black Friday weekend. And I'll show you like 3 or 4 different ways that I source those products. And we'll be breaking that all down on the free Zoom call tonight. On TikTok, you can get invited to the free class up here, or YouTube's down here. Just like a couple of you guys asking about the camera. I guess I got the lighting or something good today too. Just like a Sony standard camera, ZV-E10 or something like that. Let's see. Is using a prep center really the only way to deal with super high state sales taxes? A lot of times, yes, because a ton of like retail websites and that kind of thing won't take resale permits. They'll only take it for like 501c3s or charities, basically, on a lot of places. So yeah, if you want to source from those websites that don't take resale permits, then you'll have to get a prep center in a sales tax free state. So like for me, I ship like 99% of my inventory to Montana, where there's no state sales tax. They'll list everything on Boxem for me, ship it all off, get that shipping taken care of. And it's almost like playing a video game the way I like to sell on Amazon. Definitely wasn't always like that. I definitely had my fair share of having my like childhood bedroom full of products and that kind of thing. But yeah, the way I do it now is just kind of moving products around and not having to ship it all to me anymore, which is nice. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, Anonymous. For sure. How much do you make after cost, shipping, advertising, etc.? Yeah, so there's zero advertising cost because if you're doing arbitrage, aka just like selling things that already sell, you don't need to buy ads because people are already searching for it. Shipping is about 60 cents a pound through Boxem for shipping. And then as far as like inventory cost, usually, let's say you're selling a $100 item, usually you spent about $50 on that product. That's pretty typical for about half of the revenue from a product to go to covering your cost of goods. Another 25 to 35%, depending on the product, is going to be your Amazon fees. So that's the price we pay for them to ship the product out, do customer service, find the customer for us, all that kind of stuff. And then depending on the product, that last like 15 to 25% is going to be your gross margin. And then you got software and whatever else you use to run the business that'll come out of that. Let's see. Do you have a system in place to track? You're in the weeds. You're in the weeds, Swen. Tracking like jigged addresses. Not necessarily. I don't use like address jigging and that kind of stuff too much anymore. That's basically just like changing up how your address looks. By the way, if you're ordering like 100 of the exact same thing from a website, you might change road to RD, and then next time you might spell it all the way out, or you might add like an apartment number when there's not actually apartments there, that kind of thing. And it can help you like get through order cancels. But typically I don't buy a ton of stuff from websites that I have to like battle anymore. I just spend as much money as possible at websites that want my money, and I'll just kind of build a nice rotation of things to come back to. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes those websites that like cancel your orders and stuff have the good stuff. So sometimes, yeah, you do battle through it. For sure. What's the best method for beginners? Reverse sourcing. I assume you're talking about sourcing products. So yeah, just SellerAmp reverse sourcing if you need to like look something up. We'll also be breaking down like 3 or 4 different ways to source products, including a few that aren't on YouTube anywhere tonight on the free Zoom class. Let's see. Can you start with ungated brands and target? Yeah, like auto ungates are a great place to start. So if you plug in like Danner Shoelaces or Athletic Works or a lot of like retail store brands in general, like Up and Up or Athletic Works, that kind of thing. I think did I say that? Something like, but like retail store brands. And then obviously you know where to source those retail store brands. But a lot of those are going to be auto ungates. Yeah, if that's where you want to kind of get started, basically. You're scared of somebody canceling orders. Has that happened to you before? Yeah, of course. If you buy a ton of stuff from a bunch of different websites, you're going to find websites that don't want you to go crazy using like a coupon or something like that. But I don't worry about like problems that aren't there yet. I mean, it sounds like you're worrying about problems that aren't here yet. When you start getting a bunch of order cancels or whatever problems you're running into, you can figure out how to solve it then. But when it comes to like order cancels, for example, you might as well place the order as many times as possible and make as much money as you can rather than trying to solve a problem that's not here yet, right? Like, make your money on things that you can do, and then you can solve the problems later if something comes up. Let's see. Why does SellerAmp show you the max cost is negative? So that just means like for you to meet your ideal profit standards on that item, it's just not possible for you to sell that. So let's say you always want to make $3 profit and 30% ROI. If you're looking at like an $8 product, it's just not going to be possible to hit those. So it's going to say you need to get paid $1 or something to make $3 in profit. So that's all it means. Let's see. What's your main product? I mean, I'm not going to tell you my best product, man, but like I like to build my business buying and selling a ton of things that I can sell, 50 of here, 200 of here, maybe 500 of here, that kind of thing. And just kind of building, slow, relentless consistency on just like boring products, basically. Yeah, just all from big websites and stuff, basically. Sweet. Let me know what other questions you guys got here. Best way to find a good prep center. Prep centers are easy to find. Those are businesses that want your money. Like it's not hard to find a prep center. Just look up, Prep Center Delaware, Prep Center Montana, that kind of thing. For sure. See what are the best auto ungating products. Start with like a retail store brand and then see what other brands those people sell. Because if they sell, great value, they source other brands that are easy for beginners to find and that kind of thing. Sweet. How accurate is SellerAmp at calculating costs? It's 100% accurate. It wouldn't be useful if it wasn't accurate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's also a good thing to like plug in your like per pound shipping cost and how much you pay for prep or how much you're paying for poly bags, that kind of thing. You can have all that included as well to make sure that you're actually making money, basically. Disadvantages of downgrading from professional to individual. If you're on the individual plan as an Amazon seller, you're going to have a hard time winning the buy box. You're going to have a harder time getting ungated, and you're also not going to be able to use software. So the only real reason to have an individual account is if you haven't bought inventory yet. If you have inventory at Amazon, the pro account's going to be better. Let's see. Yeah, if you're looking for a course, yeah, we're breaking down a ton of stuff for free tonight on Zoom. Yeah, we're doing a free live Zoom class at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll show you how to get ungated, source products, take advantage of Black Friday, the holiday rush, all that kind of stuff. We've got 90 plus minutes of free value for you, and then we'll answer any of the questions and that kind of stuff you have after the show. You can get invited to the free class up here. For sure. Yeah, I've already answered like the margin question several times, but I shoot for 10% net margin and 20% gross margin, in that rough range. Because I pay virtual assistants, my team, that kind of thing, to source all the products, to buy all the products, to ship all the products, do all the ungating, talking to Amazon, all that kind of stuff for me. So obviously that's an expense. Margins used to be higher, but I wanted to make more money per hour and be like a real business owner, so I could focus on other stuff. But yeah, as long as you're around like 15 to 20% gross margin, you'll have plenty of room to pay for everything else. If you're closer to like 10% gross margin, you've got a little bit of trouble. Let's see. You can't seem to find a product. You end up feels like hitting a wall. How do you move past that? Yeah. So for sourcing products, like the big mental shift you need to make is you're not finding profitable items, you're making profitable items. So what I mean by that is you're not finding something that sells for $10 at Walmart, sells for 25 on Amazon. 99 times out of 100, you're finding something that's $15 at Walgreens and it's $20 on Amazon, but you can say, oh, there's a buy one, get one sale. And oh, there's a coupon. And oh, there's also a loyalty rewards program. I get 5% cash back when I use my free account, right? Stuff like that. So you're finding these like creative ways to create profit rather than just like hoping it's sitting there. Because the other problem with products that are just sitting there profitably, selling for 10 at Walmart, 30 on Amazon, that kind of thing, is like automated like scraping tools and that kind of thing will find those and tank them. You need to be selling things that take a little bit of like extra legwork to stay profitable long term. And it sounds like it's a pain and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes it is, and that's why it's profitable. That's why it still makes so much money, because it's work. Let's see. How do you change your criteria to maximize the max cost? So your max cost, like I assume you're referring to like on SellerAmp, it's just going to show you. It's basically saying, hey, you need to source it for this price or less. So I wouldn't change that because you still need to make your profit goals happen. What you do need to change is the things that you're looking at to create the profit, right? So just build yourself a quick checklist of every different way to create profitable products. Everything from coupons to loyalty rewards to credit card rewards, coupons, cashback, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure I've said at least one of those twice, but all those different ways to create profit. Let's see. You said you're young you're young to get into selling. Do you need college? I started like right after, like in the summer before I went to my freshman year of college is when I started selling on Amazon. So I think it's a great place to start. I'll also see a lot of like younger, guys and gals tend to crush the game, especially just with business ownership in general, because we haven't been told for decades that we can't do things on our own and you can't break rules and that kind of thing. Like when you're younger, you have less to lose and a little bit less like, I don't know, like maybe social conditioning, like less people have told you can't do something. So it's like easier to believe in yourself and like do something awesome. Definitely helped me out. Kind of the perk of being a little ignorant when you're young, I think. For sure. What do you sell? Anything that's profitable. Like short answer, this time of year, it's going to be anything giftable. So clothes, shoes, toys, makeup, chocolates, stuff like that. Things that are going to see a bump in demand, but aren't going to fall off right after Christmas, if that makes sense. So like, I'm not selling Christmas lights. I'm selling the Christmas presents. I'm not selling, Santa decor. I'm selling the food that they're going to eat at Christmas. But people still obviously all need to, eat food and buy shoes and that kind of stuff after Christmas too. So it's not just stuff that like falls off the face of the earth, basically. Sweet. Let me know the questions you guys got. Here's this drop shipping. So drop shipping is actually not allowed on Amazon unless you do it in like a very specific way. It's like traditional like retail drop shipping. So if you buy from, you list a product on Amazon, somebody buys it from you, you ship it straight from them to Walmart, from Walmart to the customer. That's not allowed. So the way to make it, TOS compliant is just to actually buy the product that is profitable. And then when a customer buys it, just ship it to them. So you can still use retail stores as your suppliers, obviously, but you have to actually own the product. What's the estimated time from sending the product to the Amazon center to when it sells and you actually get paid? Yeah, so here I'll walk through the timeline. So you buy a product, it's going to ship to you probably 3 days later. It gets to your house. It's going to take you 1 to 2 days to get that product shipped off to Amazon. Probably a week later, it'll show up at Amazon. And then a week after that, it's going to start checking in and being available for sale and that kind of thing. So usually from the day you buy a product to when you make your first sale for FBA is going to be, let's just round up to 3 weeks to be, nice and conservative with it. If you're doing FBM, you can make sales the day that the product shows up at your house. So it can take anywhere from 2 to 5 days to start making sales if you're doing FBM, like 3 weeks if you're FBA. Receipts still good. Amazon's back to section 3. If you get like a section 3 review, receipts are good. You just need to prove that you buy like authentic inventory, basically. For sure. Let's see, what's the best order? How do you figure out how much to buy? 10% of monthly sold. So like when you're new, just buy 5 or 10 units of everything, and you just get like a general feel for how fast it's going to sell. After you've been on the platform for a while, you can look at things like the Keepa offers tab to figure out how fast things are going to sell and educate a test buy. And in general, I'm going to look to order like 45 days of stock. Sometimes I'll go to, around 30 days of stock if it's something that I think is going to be more consistent. But yeah, it's kind of, there's not really an exact science to it. It's kind of just something you'll develop a feel for in terms of like how much to buy. And before you, like when you're new, one of your biggest mistakes is going to be like, oh, I see why I shouldn't have bought this. But after, a month or two, your biggest mistake is going to be, oh, I should have bought 10 times as much as this. And then when that becomes your more common mistake, rather than, oh, I learned a lesson, this was a bad product, then you just start doubling down and buying a whole bunch of stuff, instead of like placing test orders, basically. Cashback will help get the Lambo fast. It's something like that. Yeah, something like that, PQP. Let's see. Do you order your desired monthly goal all at once or in division? So yeah, good question, man. Like there's obviously going to be some days that are better for spending money on inventory than others. Some days we might only spend money on things that we're restocking, stuff that we've sourced before. Maybe the sales are really bad that day. Days like today and days that are coming up in the next week or so with Black Friday sales, there's a ton of sourcing opportunity. So usually in the next week or so, we'll probably spend our entire typical monthly sourcing goal, or at least get close to it, just because it makes sense. When the sourcing gets easier, you're going to end up buying a lot more stuff. Let's see. Is this an investment? I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're buying inventory, you're investing in inventory. So hopefully that should be self-explanatory, man. It's an inventory-based business. So yeah, you have to buy products to sell them. Let's see. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Don't say one that sells stuff on Amazon. That is the first time I've ever been asked that, John, in 6 years. So you can give yourself that one. I don't know if I've got a good answer for you. Take like a Minecraft birch tree or something like that. Is that a good answer? Didn't understand cost price issue. Not sure what you mean, Sam. Yeah. Where are you getting inventory from? Big retail websites. So Walgreens.com, Vitacost.com, iHerb, Target, Kohl's, Sephora, Ulta, stuff like that, right? Any big websites that sell real products. What do you do for ungating rejection? Submit it again until you get approved. It's pretty normal to have to submit like 5 or 10 times right now. Let's see. Is it normal to get 0 orders for a few days in a row? Should you change something? If you're not getting orders, then your pricing is probably not dialed in. Or if you are doing FBM, then you probably are selling on a listing with a bunch of FBA sellers. FBA sellers will generally get priority for sales over FBM. Sweet. Appreciate you, Michael. Appreciate you. Let's see. Is it guaranteed that the product you buy will sell as long as it says it sells 50 plus times? I mean, nothing's 100% guaranteed, but like that's the whole point of reselling, is buying things that you already know exactly how fast they sell. So what I usually say is like it's pretty rare for you to not be able to just sell the products you buy. Obviously, you're not going to make a profit on every single product that you buy, but the point of buying things that are already selling is that they're already selling, right? So yeah, you should at least be able to sell the product. Sometimes prices will change on that kind of thing, but you can just sell out on that, reinvest your money into something better. Let's see. What do you use to source items? Yeah, so as far as the software goes, Yellow, all you need is SellerAmp and Keepa. It's also a lot cheaper than the tool you mentioned. That's for private label. It's like a completely different business model, for sure. Do you have to pay for shipping? Not from your supplier usually. Like since I'm buying from big retail websites, usually they'll do like, I mean, you've seen it when you're shopping as a normal person, but like $35 for free shipping. So it's going to be like 2 units usually, 2 or 3 units. So you're never really paying shipping from the supplier. You are paying shipping to Amazon, which is about 60 cents a pound through Boxem. In terms of shipping goes, or for FBM, you get like discounted rates through Amazon. Let's see. What's up, Mike? You said been focusing only on auto engates as a new seller and not even dealing with the invoices. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too, man. Yeah, if you're having a lot of success sourcing auto engates, then go for it. Yeah. Another thing like super smart is just ripping auto engates and then continuing to submit a few brands that you want to ungate. Yeah. Need to get ungated. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are asking about ungating. So we'll be breaking all that down on the free class on Zoom tonight. So if you want to see all the basics from ungating to like advanced sourcing strategies for Black Friday and all that kind of stuff, you can go ahead and click up here on TikTok or Instagram. That'll be where the free class is. You can get invited to the free Zoom call, that kind of thing. Yeah, excited to see a bunch of you guys there. If Amazon or Amazon Fresh is on a listing, should you stay away from it? Typically, yeah, you can check the buy box rotation to confirm that. Sometimes they'll share buy box rotation. Or if they're like if they don't have a ton in stock, you can get some sales underneath them too, even if the buy box shows that they're winning a lot of it. Let's see, buying at full price or on sale, almost always on sale. Yeah. And if I'm buying at full price at something like, I don't know, I've never sold Pokemon cards personally, but that would be like a good example. Like it'd be something like Pokemon cards where it's like hard to find, they sell out instantly, and that creates the scarcity that drives price up. Yeah, stuff like that. Let's see. Do you do one-on-one? Not really. You can just dive into as much free content. You can always shoot me a message, that kind of thing. And then if you also have like specific questions, you want to see how everything works, we're going to be breaking all that down on the free class that I know I mentioned a few times. So if you're on TikTok, go up here to get registered. If you're on YouTube, go down here. I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up here for the day, and I'll see a bunch of you guys here in like 2.5 hours for the free class on Zoom. And yeah, appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out. And I'll talk to you guys again very soon. See you guys later tonight. Awesome. Thanks, guys.